can get it, I can get it. I can reach it, I'ma reach it.
That one you're sure about. Oh, so which means your long-term vision is also like based on faith, which is someone sees it and then
that was the initial idea.
It could just boom our.
The initial idea was for everyone in that place, because everyone has a passion in something, and we try to empower everyone. Like if you have a passion in for example, like Lewis in directing and stuff, someone must recognize you. If you have a passion in acting like Rapists, someone must recognize you. Stuff like that, like just for you to be recognized by someone be like, who's that? You get me? Because I believe it still happens. You know, faith and favor work. But yeah, it was an aim for everyone must be empowered and come out with something.
Oh, and by the way, I was talking to my mother this other time, né? She pointed out, I think it was two things. I think the first one was the fact that, I don't know if, I think it was her who I've once mentioned this to, Molatlhegi. I've low-key, that's why I ended up producing Ngane Mganami, ne? Is because I've always had this this passion in story writing and how a story evolves over the episodes and whatnot, and even like the art of acting in its own self. So manje she would, and like I've always wanted to have like this badass character that you gave me. So in a sense it was like, okay, prayers answered. You know what I'm saying?
And you kill it.
I'm not.
To the money.
We try. So she pointed that out, like Oh, another thing that she pointed out. Where that sound coming from? Let me just close this window. Yeah. She also pointed out this thing I'm thinking. Your story, Mofenyi, is actually my story in a sense, in reality.
Is it?
Yeah, like he came to varsity. Kefedo, whether Mofenyi lost a brother in first year, ne?
Like your story is in line Manzini. Like yourself.
Yes. Until now I lost my brother in third year when I think it. So in a sense, she was very emotional, but I was like, whoa, I didn't think about it like that. So yeah, this story is the one.
That's true.
This story is the one.
That is so, like, that is the responses I wanna hear. I wanna hear people say, you know, this is relatable. This is me. This is true. You are speaking about me. Like, it's so, like, chills for real.
Yeah, I lost my brother when I was doing third year. So this year,
That's fair.
Yeah, literally this year. That's how my life is. I'm just pushing with faith. I'm just like, okay, you know what?
Maybe a survivor.
Let's push. Yo.
Survivor, MacGyver.
Survivor.
Whatever your destiny is, I'm even like, we're all gonna be in awe. Because usually the people who are most depressed when they come out. Do you know what happens to a diamond? You know what happens to a diamond? Like,
becomes pretty, becomes beautiful.
It comes from fire.
Valuable.
You have to go through that fire, and you need to be pressed. You need to be in that heat. Uncomfort, depression. You have to go through being crazy, nyana, sad. I want to give up here. I'm in a type of hell. But when you come out, you become the most expensive product. And you know what's gonna make you expensive? Your story. When you tell people, they're going to be uplifted. There's something about you when you tell someone and you open yourself to them. You know, look at my heart, look at me. It's not only about how I am right now, but my past is painful, and that empowers someone. Testimony. I'm telling you, Wazy. And I love the fact that you never fight. I even forgot that we are recording, like on a real, bruh. Like, I'm sorry, like, bruh, I adore you. You are very, I'm telling you.
Aww.
Sure.
Making me blush.
Yeah, as long as you don't cry.
I don't do that.
She's boy. Roman and Jebs. Hey, yeah.
Wow.
Mr. Katlego. Yeah.
Ukapatia. I'm
Mr.
not gonna
Happy
character this
Baby.
fire, but I think for the character, yo, like I was like, whoa, I'm killing this one, yo.
Hashem.
Okay, so, when I first told you about this interview that we're gonna be having today, I ended up telling you we're gonna be discussing a topic. Yeah. Okay, let me go ask my neighbor to maybe reduce volume because I feel like it's gonna interrupt.
No, don't stop. I wanna dance with you. I'm joking.
Hey.
I'm joking. I'm gonna be awkward. I wanna dance. Narase house if lady back shut off. But yeah, guys, this guy is a very good person inside and out. So appreciate him. He's the bomb.com.
What were you doing?
That's it.
Yeah? What was twice we discussed the topic gender-based violence, since it's a topic which is very heated nowadays, ne? And I hope Wuti in whatever thing whatever the little thing that we said, we did justice to the topic. Yeah. That 2 cents of ours was actually more valuable than what 2 cents is, ne? So the topic for today is childhood traumas. What do you understand by a person maybe having childhood traumas, perhaps? Like, what is your take on childhood traumas and whatnot?
So for me, childhood traumas is a real topic. It's a very sensitive and real topic, especially in an environment that we are in, South Africa. And if I were to describe it, I would say it's like a seed that is inevitably planted in a young child, and he or she grows up with it, and it inevitably grows out of them through their character, through how they are. So in a nutshell, basically, when you go through childhood traumas, if you don't deal with those demons, then you can grow up with it, and it can affect your loved ones, basically. And I call it a real topic because so many people I know, and I feel like there's so many people that out there also know someone, if not themselves, who have been in some type of childhood trauma to their certain extent. It can be emotional type of abuse, it can be physical, it can be financial.
The thing is, there are rapists nowadays. There are people who are serial killers. There are people who do all these bad things which end up leading them to being caught, ne? And if you follow through their story, okay, some of them they just lost their signal for some reason, but there are some people who actually went through what we talking about with the childhood traumas. Now the thing is, ne, I'm a person who believes that nothing happens without a reason, number one, because we are all God's children, and whatever challenges that He puts us through, He is aware of them.
Yes.
And because He is aware of them, which means somehow He knows what we're supposed to be able to go through those things. Yes. Why I'm saying that is, those people who had childhood traumas, if they are to sin now based on them being shaped by those childhood traumas, if they maybe to kill someone, they become arrested. There's nothing about this person went through childhood traumas. So in a sense, I think like we all go through things. It's a thing because I also made like there's this other story that I've once read of, ne? there were two kids, there were two boys, ne? They grew up in a family where the father was a drunkard.
Yes, yes.
So growing up, the father would in most cases be drunk, and then when he came back, he would beat up their mother. I understand. So mind you, these two boys growing up, kind of a similar age. One decided, okay, you know what? I'm not going to be a drinker. I'm not going to abuse. I'm not going to be an abusive person.
Yes.
Then the other person, mind you, these people learn from the same person,
yes,
their
yes,
father.
Yes.
This other person learned, you know what? Wish me this is the right way. You understand? So I guess my point is this: yes, we all have childhood experiences which might end up being called childhood traumas, but how you end up growing up now, I feel like it's dependent on you. Yes, maybe the environment that you grow up in doesn't allow for that, but I feel like that's where now this thing of having faith in Nkulunkulu comes in, because I feel like sometimes Nkulunkulu puts you in tricky situations,
yes,
knowing what you're not going to be able to come out of alone, but he wants that attention. Okay, sharp, I put you in this. If you can seek for my glory right now, I'll take you out, even if it seems impossible in a sense.
Exactly.
So I tell it like this topic, child traumas, I feel like maybe my point of view is wrong of it, because maybe I didn't go through child traumas. But I'm just like, at the same time, I feel like I have experiences,
yes, which,
if I was maybe a typical person in a sense, I would have deemed them to be childhood traumas in a sense, but because of my level of understanding and because my mother's a praying person. Okay, my mother and my father are praying people, so they're always like, okay, I wonder if things are now steep for you, just go down on your knees and just pray about them. I feel like that's how I've always been living up until this very point, because I'm just like, okay, if I don't understand something, I'm just like, you know what, let me just pray about it and move on. Okay, sharp, I believe Nkulunkulu is gonna do something for me on this one.
Yeah, I don't think that your take on this is wrong at all. What you are saying is that as a person, you have a choice.
True.
You get me?
True.
And we are all, and that is highly true.
And God will present you with the choices.
Definitely. The greatest gift that He has ever given us is the gift of choice. You can choose to be a non-believer, you can choose to be a Christian, you can choose to live your life this way, you can choose to live your life this way, you can choose to be egg, you can choose your life to not. So you have choice, you understand? Everything that you have in life has a choice, you understand? But some people don't acknowledge it. Some people feel like whatever they have been through, that defines them. Now, the parts that maybe people won't understand, right? I get when you have a viewpoint, Jahori. You can choose how you come out. When you've chosen not to let those childhood traumas define the person you are today. They define me, but not in the bad way. Not in the bad way. Because those experiences were there to actually shape me to be who I am right now. But it doesn't matter which side now am I choosing to go on. You understand? And that type of mentality, I swear, it's very minimal. I don't know how you say. It's very not common amongst our generation. You have to understand, Corey, you are kind of set apart, you are unique. Other people, most people, whenever I mention them as rapists who have said they've been through what, they don't take things the way you do. The way of, you know what, I've got a lemon, it's very sour, I'm going to make lemon juice out of it and make it sweet and make it work for me. They don't do that, you understand? And I feel like to a certain extent it has to go with responsibility, it has to do with maturity, sometimes it has to do with character. Some people's pain intake is not the same as yours. You understand? Some people, I'll repeat it again, some people's pain intake is not the same. Like, some people have a higher tolerance of pain, some people don't. You understand? And I feel like the ones who choose the chicken way out, they give up quick because they can't take it. Good, it's not in their character. You know this. Now, what you need to also realize is that the fact that it's in your life at that point, which means it's in your character, you just don't know it. Yes. It's now up to you to find the strength from within to be able to be like, okay, you know what?
literally, bro, this is me, ne?
I totally understand you.
Sometimes I'm just like, okay, you know what? I don't know why I'm going through this, but I believe Wuti, it's not by mistake. Wuti, it came into my life. It came as a challenge into my life. For the mere fact, it stepped into my life. I'm just like, okay, you know what? I don't know with the knowledge that I have right now, Wuti, how I'm going to be able to go through this. But for the mere fact, it came into my life. And I'm a praying person, and God listens to me. For the mere fact it came into my life, which means somehow God knows what okay sharp with the dreams that I have. He was like, okay, this is an appropriate challenge for it to shape me now. So which means I have the necessary equipment, to come out. You understand?
Yes, and I'm totally agreeing with you. The part that I keep going to referring to is that Harutwan, and our homes, you know, as much as you feel like you were very limited in your resources at home and everything, you had the two most important things that were necessary, and I feel like they played a huge role as to how you take things today. Also me, for example, it's just that I don't know why we're talking about you, but for example, you had a praying mother, you had a praying father, you had supportive parents, you understand? From a tender age, they planted a seed in your head to tell you, there's someone called God. There's someone called Jesus that you can run to. You won't see him, you won't hear him, but if you believe him, he will direct you and you can have a personal relationship. You understand? I personally believe Linda, I'm privileged, and I call it a privilege because, to be honest, you won't know God unless you hear about him. You understand? You won't. That's just my take. Somebody needs to tell you there's somebody from a baby's age, for example. I feel like you need to, you know him through people evangelizing, for example. So, what I'm trying to say is that there's somebody out there who's growing in that abusive environment. Since they grew up, they've been told nothing but the opposite of love. Do you understand?
Okay.
Nobody's telling them what love is. They are sweat at, they are insulted, they are beaten up. They go out, they tell them that umugima or useless or when your parents are drunkards. They don't know any type of definition of love. You understand? I guess you understand. It's not even a thing of where will they get that answer? Who will give them an example of love if Bonnet inside themselves they've never even experienced that definition. Bonnet, their definition of love is probably you hitting me. That's why Haba create a man, for example, and that man was sharp. I want rag because back at home, time I was doing the same thing. They don't know that definition of love. That's why the way they are, they'll end up being maybe promiscuous, a promiscuous woman. They're hurting people's families. They are wrecking people's families in their adulthood because they are empty inside. They were never groomed. I don't know if you understand.
I understand. I just have a follow-up question. So with this mindset, God loves us all.
Yes.
Ne? And which means whatever challenges, yes, maybe if you might compare my life to a life of maybe someone who's a street beggar, maybe someone who's in the rural areas. Yes, if we are to compare, yes, maybe might say okay, my challenges are not that intensive. But I feel like again, maybe pardon me for my opinion, I feel like the challenges that I have are challenges which are enough for me. That's why I have the right to which mangabe in get now I'm complaining when things are tough.
Yes.
Because the challenges that I have are enough for me. That person who's in the rural areas, yes, if we compare, his challenges are more than mine. But those challenges are specified for him. Definitely. In a sense. You understand? Right. So what would your advice be to someone who, like you say, has never been exposed to what love is, doesn't know what love is? Because now the problem with such people is that God might end up at some point putting someone in their lives who's now going to love them. All along they didn't know what love is, and then all of a sudden someone comes into their life who just gives them abundant love, like love in abundance.
Yes.
So what's maybe your advice to maybe such people will know no meaning of what love is, in a sense.
This is what I can say, right? It all comes with, okay, how do I explain this in a better way? It all, like with regards to love, the definition of love, there's always people out there who are called by God to teach you. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that no matter what you've learned in your life, in your home, no matter you don't think you know the definition of love, but there will always be somebody who is sent in your life to teach you what that definition is. It can come as a form of a friend, it can come maybe as a partner, a future life partner, it can come as a TV show. Oksalayo, the ministry of God will always be preached, you get me? And the love of God will always make sure you know about him. You know about him somehow through an evangelist, through someone. So what I can say is that open your heart to hear. You get me? Allow yourself to unlearn some things that you've learned before.
Because it doesn't mean that whatever you've learned is actually right for you. Exactly. Yes, it was supposed to shape you.
Exactly.
But moving on, it's something that you have to let go of, in a sense.
Yeah. Because with that type of baggage, you will not even allow yourself to learn. So as much as it's scary to trust someone who comes and now buys you flowers, they telling you they love you, they hugging you, they showing you affection, you don't know, it's awkward. But something inside of you is natural to love. Something inside of you knows how to love feels good. Yes. As a human being, in your heart, you know how to love it. It's a good feeling. It's something that's supposed to make you secure. So trust that thing in your heart as a human being. You get me? And then feed it with whatever that person is. Allow yourself. Allow yourself. Love yourself to the level, even if you don't know, but allow yourself to learn that new trait or new word. As hard as it is. Do you get me? And going back to the whole thing, don't apologize for your opinions. Your opinion, you are allowed to have an opinion. Don't apologize for your opinion. And
I like keeping them to myself.
No, you are justified to say your own opinion, so you don't have to apologize for your opinion. And with regards to problems, I'm very aware what people can have. We're not allowed to put people's problems in ranks. We are all going through our own thing, you get me? So a person
in God's eyes, in a sense, we kind of like, yeah.
Yes. So don't ever feel not just because I've never been slapped by someone, I don't know, I've never been abused. If somebody said for to you when you're growing up your whole life, you've been abused emotionally, it's hurting your heart. So you know some type of, okay, I shouldn't go into that type of convo because that's a very yay. But you get me. Don't be apologetic of what you think. Yeah. It's a safe space, I hope. I don't know I'm talking today.
But I did say with we're just having a normal conversation.
I just talk a lot.
But you always do. You're saying as if this is a new trait.
So I talk a lot.
You don't know.
I talk a lot.
You don't know now.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I'm so quiet.
Okay, shut up. It's fine. So, another question. Don't look at me like that, right? Another question that I wanted to ask you, okay, just maybe as a follow-up to what you've been conversing about is Wuti. Do you believe, Wuti, life is unfair to certain people compared to other people? With that mindset, Wuti, God loves us all. And with that mentality you've been talking to me with, God loves us all, and we all God's kids, and God doesn't love seeing us suffer. Like God wouldn't let us go, wouldn't let us suffer. Because I mean, there's this. I'm not that much of a reader of the Bible, but I don't know what the story is about. Maybe I think you read the Bible a lot, so you might know it.
I know so much pressure. No, I don't. I read the Bible.
I think it's stories are joke, man. This person who had all the wealth and the livestock and then Satan came to, I think it was God and Jesus. Mary was like to him, Wuti, you're saying this person loves you. Can I please just go test him?
Yes.
And then God was like, okay, whatever you do, you can test him, just don't touch his soul. I understand. So basically, whatever that pain, those getting those sicknesses on his body and whatnot. God knew about that. God let it happen. Because he was like, I know this person loves me. So whatever he goes through, as long as you just don't touch his soul. His soul is mine, you don't touch that. But you can do anything about his soul, because when we die, our soul goes back to the Almighty. I understand. So Manje, going back to my question, do you believe with life is unfair to certain people?
And as hypocritical this may sound, I definitely think that there is no such a thing.
As life being unfair?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you saying it's hypocritical?
Because whatever you're going through, it's kind of meant to be in a way.
Okay.
You must understand that as people, we are individuals.
Yes.
And there's no bomber crowd of some doppelganger. Like, you are your own person, you are an individual. And every single person has their own set purpose in life. You get me? Everybody has their set purpose in life. So you can't compare yourself to Katlego. You can't compare yourself to man. You can't compare yourself to man. You are going to face your own types of hits in life because you are an individual person and you have your individual purpose in this planet Earth.
It might be similar, but it's not the same.
Yes, and sometimes if I compare my situation to yours, you're not supposed to in the beginning. I can't compare my situation to yours because
you don't know what I went through.
Exactly, that's when the terms of unfair come in.
Oh,
that's how the term
because you're comparing and you're not supposed to be doing that in the first place.
If you are living your own life, knowing, okay, I'm going to face this type of challenge. Like, okay, get my job, for example. I have livestock, I've got a wife, I've got beautiful kids, I've got money, I've got everything I need. And then the devil comes, my father allows it, and he comes and takes everything. You get me? If the job or swag who does not understand his purpose in life, I will be like, how? Mara, why my friend the Oprah Mike ene why me? It's not about why you, it's why not you, who else?
Who was it made for?
Who was it made for?
There come.
Do you understand? So these words like unfair
it's because of comparison. There's not
exactly. I grew up in North Cape, as I said, and as bougie as that may sound, it is not as glamorous as it sounds, right? Yes, I grew up in a suburb, but I grew up in a back room. For example, that's home for me. Like my granny needed a kitchen girl, for lack of a better word. That's why I lived there. That's why I grew up there. You understand? And because I was very outspoken, and I thank God that I grew up in that type of environment. I was very privileged to have some of the resources. Like I was equipped, I was able to
mind you, she's saying a privilege because it's her perspective to life.
It's my perspective. It's my perspective because I had a perspective of like growing up with like many races. I don't know how it is to go to a school in Soweto, for example. So I can't say guys. No, I grew up in Soweto, so I had white friends. I had Mofenyi, but then I had my granny and my mother who were always teaching me, don't compare yourself to them. And I swear, if I didn't take that advice, bruh, I would have been depressed my whole primary school and high school because whenever there's occasions and stuff, I know that I can't afford whatever. I can't afford that camp. I can't afford that that the school offers. You know, it's almost like a private school. I can't afford those things. So if I was comparing myself to Pam, the white girl, I wouldn't have. It would have killed my confidence. So what did I do? I lived my own life, and I'm like, not as I'm an individual. Yes, young. I know that I'm not coming from a huge house like them. I'm not coming from money. I'm not coming from ini. But then, so says someone to go pass a grade 1, to go pass a grade 2, just like this child. You understand? So comparing yourself is a killer. Comparing yourself is a killer. And it defines you, and you're not supposed to be defined by comparing yourself with another person because you're not even supposed to be similar to them.
In the first place, you're not supposed to be similar.
Nix. You're not supposed to look like them, even seem like them. You're yourself, and you are boss yourself. Sham.
Oh no.
Oposo.
Excellent.
Oposo.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't compare yourself. It's hard.
Yeah.
But don't.
I think that's enough for the people for now. Maybe at some point, once I've made it, we might have another interview. And
You are so short.
so
It was so short. I enjoyed myself.
do you have anything else you want to speak about?
No. I'm sad. I like being here.
Oh, Gambe, you were like, you've always envisioned yourself having an interview. Oh, man. You realize my dream, I realize your dream. It's a payback.
Was one of prophetic in spiritual tales though. Prophetic. I really enjoyed myself. This was really empowering. Yeah, you should start charging people. Do people know when you empower people for free? People charge, make money.
It's whatever.
Like
I
guys,
help people. I help people. I won't work for people.
oh, that is powerful. You always tell me that and always
Yeah.
hits home.
That's the thing. I'm just, cause I remember recently I got to this realization about myself now. In this world, I am living for God and for myself. And now, mind you, living for God is also like serving His kingdom in a sense. So basically, me helping out with people, like trying to maybe help out people to put them somewhere as well. It's basically my payment of being on this earth in a sense. It's more of a payment. That's why it's like I don't want any credit for helping out people. I'm just doing it as basically that is me showing God because he always pulls me through some of the sticky situations. So I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna show you how I love you by serving other people. And I don't want credit for that. I don't want credit. I don't like the spotlight for helping people. It's not. It's I don't like
but
that.
if the world wants to appreciate you, then let it.
It can appreciate me in it can appreciate me in private.
No,
That's fine.
there has been awards for this.
Yes.
It has been known for America. Hey.
That would be a dream. Yes, you remember when was it? I think it was last year when Sofa Town had like these awards, bruh. So basically, I don't know what this award was called, but I think it was something like likely to be nominated for a Nobel Prize. And then I was one of the neighbors like, whoa, get come.
Accurately so.
I was like, I wonder if I were to see myself there, I'd be like, okay, yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Like now I can testify. And I can testify that the first combo I had with you was an uplifting one. And I always tell about the first encounter I had with you was when I was in second year. Was it last year or first year? I don't know. First year. And you were.
It was not an encounter. That one was more like you heard me say something.
I heard you, and then you spoke to me at that time. You know, sometimes you're speaking to people, it's gonna touch maybe one person.
That's what I'm aiming for, by the way. I just want, as long as it's just that one person, exactly. That one person can now expand to other people in a sense, yeah.
That date was for me, you understand? And I always tell you about it. I was in first year sitting on the steps of Molatlhegi. They were like, Manzini, please come talk to the first years or whatever. I was like, in second year, I don't know that. And then you came, I was like, yeah, no, okay. You know, you just like, okay, now I want to go to my room, I want to eat, guys. Oh, plus depression, yeah, cause and then you came and you spoke with such boldness, and I remember.
And I was not so bold. I was like, okay, you know what? Let me just do
your confidence. You know what? It rips out of you inevitably. And then you spoke, and then it was touching me because at that time I felt like, wait again, I think I'm in a trap. Like this thing feels very sticky. It was speaking to me on so many levels. I was in that period of like being touched that I'm doing BA and I don't really like it. And there's acting that's also not going as fast as I want. And we were explaining about how an elephant gets pregnant for like 20 something months, and a dog for 3 months or something, and then it gives birth to small puppies. But an elephant, when the baby hits the ground will even shake. I was like,
what are you saying?
Now I was touched, Pella, Now I was touched. I was like, this guy get pasta or
Pasta.
get pasta
Yeah,
or
man.
young. Like I couldn't understand. And then I was told, or no, this guy is 1 year older than you. He's just in a different grade, studying the same thing. I was like, why don't I cutting marry? Yeah. I was like, no, he was cold.
Yeah, my vision is just to. The reason why like I end up doing like such things, like body podcast and the brand is literally I feel like there are so many people who could be touched by my words. So I'm trying by all means to kind of like create that platform where I'm just on that place where when I speak something, a lot of people could hear what I'm saying, because I feel like I've not made it in life. Matter with whatever I have right now, I feel like I have the right formula for how to keep moving forward, and in that formula, God is there.
Too much.
God is food is a big part of the formula.
He's
that
at the center.
Bona. So yeah, big tip: invite God into your life and believe in the things that you don't even see, but just believe what they're gonna happen, because God loves you, and love God by also being able to serve people without wanting anything in return. You're helping, not working for them, for those people. You're helping out, and He will show you His love.
You don't need the credit. The credit you get.
Why? Why would you get the credit? Because I'm just like,
some people get discouraged if they feel like, I don't know, it's a worldly mentality, but then when you are serving, some people believe that they should get something in return. It's just the cherry on top, and that's when you receive. In heaven. But yeah, what you said today has empowered me.
what much?
Everything. This cover.
When I just impact everything I say.
I'm very happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, till the next episode, Kitty the Cat.
No, I want to do my own closing.
Oh.
God love you.
How was that?
You must take out that part.
How was that?
But thank you so much for inviting me. I truly enjoyed it. I was truly blessed. I'm very honored by this invitation. I'm so happy, guys. I don't know
Mofenyi is
why.
out,
Yeah,
bruh.
Mofenyi is out. I'm very happy. I don't know why. Guys, Mofenyi, guys, please watch it.
Please.
Watch it.
I liked it, and I don't easily like stuff. And I was given what's this, like a taste, a spoon of what is coming on season 2.
Hello.
Whoa.
Dun, 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 dun.
But it's fine.
Yeah, but thank you so much, guys. My name is Katlego, Molatlhegi, aka Kitty.
Writer and executive producer of Mofenyi. Bona. Yeah, I'm so proud of you, by the way.
Thank you.
Yo, because there's just something which is a turn on, not in that way, for me, about a woman more especially, who is able to just chase their dreams. I feel like that's why I have Cindy Lat as a character, because the first time I knew of Cindy Lat is on Omuvango, and there she was that person who was independent but humble at the same time. I just fell in love with that character.
Right.
So literally every now and then when I meet someone who is just like a woman who is just, yes, they pushing cars, Mara, they have like other passions, and they're executing all those passions. I'm just like, whoa. And mind you, there are people, I don't like mentioning names, there are people who came to me, they were like, bruh, we respect you guys for with that pressure you but you were able to push something on the side which demanded, I mean, we shot this thing in a space of a week, but we just with difficulty, with the limited resources. There were limited resources. I remember even myself, I sacrificed my time. Yeah.
It was deep. I think one day, listen, I should make a video of like what happened.
Yeah. Ish
we should.
behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So
I'm very
from
humbled. Thank you. I'm very humbled.
yeah, continue inspiring other people to also push out there, because I bet there's someone who looks at you as Kat, and then they're like, you know what? She's not that old, but at her age, I at least want to be like her. to have that boldness, to have those guts to chase my dreams whilst not forgetting my commitments in a sense. So bruh, not too much for that respect, bona, don't do that. So from us to everyone, we hope you enjoyed the interview, and we hope you were able to take away something from it. Also, please suggest maybe the topics that you might want us to, or me. She was just interviewed for today, so she's gone. Maybe topics that you might want me to discuss with the people that I'm to have interviews with from now on. Please also subscribe. This feels so weird. This thing look like, hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Please subscribe,
comment, and
like, share, don't. Yeah, people. So please go subscribe, do all those things. Share where you inspired. Please engage with me as well. Maybe you want to challenge my thinking process. Maybe we could engage on that. Maybe you might teach me something. Maybe I might be able to teach you something, because there's also this other quote that I wrote just recently where I was like, never deem yourself to be wise, always want to be wiser, in a sense. So with whatever knowledge that I have right now, I'm always seeking to know more. So if maybe believe what you can be able to like assist me, and I could be able to assist you with maybe giving you some knowledge, engage with us in the comment section. We hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned for episode 4. Yes, for episode 4.
Bye.
I can get it, I can reach it and reach it.